We saw the vote in Ohio, and I will tell you that if you look at Doug Mastriano and Tudor, even your race, I would argue that people that have very restrictive views on abortion, unlike, say, Mississippi has 15 weeks, that was the Dobbs decision, that anything less than that, the fear among many conservatives is this will chase away many suburban voters.
That is Sean Hannity, a guy who obviously has been in favor of these sorts of restrictions for as long as he's been on TV, seeming to actually be able to look out at reality and accurately read what is happening and then translate an accurate view of reality into what the behavior in the future should look like. And that is amazing. I don't think I've ever seen that on a show before. Not everyone is gonna be able to keep up with him in that respect. And to that end, here's Mike Huckabee.
Do you agree with that, Mike Huckabee?
I do not. I think the problem is Republicans have done a very pitiful job of explaining that the difference is we want to protect life. Democrats want to take it right up to the point of birth. They want to butcher a fully developed child. We've got to take it to the Democrats. Quit playing defense. Let's be clear about what we stand for. And it is that every human life has worth, value, and there's no such thing as an expendable or disposable human being.
Oh my God, I have to say that as someone who, I believe that people should have autonomy over their body, I'm a little bit worried about this new strategy that Mike Huckabee laid out, where you would say that we like life and they're killing life. It's never been tried before in the 70 years that they've been trying to do this, Brett. What do you think of this bold strategy?
My favorite thing in politics right now is what Hannity's trying to do. Because everybody knows he's right. Everybody knows he's right.
100%.
And it's not just Hannity that has to do that. It's a lot of people that have to do that. It is the most, and Mike Huckabee is the absolute embodiment of the other side of that. And then there's a third way. The third way is to just lean into the thing that gets people to talk about it. And so if you are, what ends up happening, I think the difference is before the Dobbs decision, the Republican pro-life thing or whatever was on the outside of the discussion, and people are more motivated to fight for it. But once they catch the card, the people who were most motivated to vote on that single issue already won. They don't have to vote as much. And every other person, which I would claim are, all American progressives, decent, common sense, human being progressives, and that way, believing in body autonomy, they're like, no, this is an insane position that Mike Huckabee is on, no matter how much he tries to sugarcoat it and message past it. And then you watch people like Hannity be like, listen, I'm gonna be on this show for the next year, trying to find the right way to say this exact thing. And I will just, it's like a comedian playing the club so they work out their set. That is what he's going to be doing over time. People on every side of the aisle do this, and it's necessary for him to accomplish his goals. And one of those goals is keeping his audience. And it's just, it is a sane position for him to take.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Look, I think that Mike Huckabee also in that clip demonstrates that on some level, he understands how ineffective Republican efforts to message around this have been since before virtually everyone watching this show has been alive. They've been trying to do this and they failed and failed and failed and failed. And they know how bad they are at it, which is why he had to lie in that clip that people are talking about like post-birth abortions.
And no one
they keep trying to run against that because they know they can't win on reality. Which Mike Huckabee, which Democratic congressperson is advocating for that? Which Democratic governor, which lib, broadcaster, anchor on CNN, MSNBC, who, which activist, who is pushing for this? Nobody, it's a fantasy land, it's a fiction, you made it up. And even that isn't convincing, you're still not winning even with your lies. You know how bad it is for the Republicans, and this will be where we'll have to end this. Ann Coulter even gets that they need to back off of this. She, like many, has noted that every single time you have put it to the public to decide whether these rights should be enshrined or restricted, they have voted for bodily autonomy. Over and over and over again, blue states, red states, urban areas, rural, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. They do not want these rights to be stripped away. Mike Huckabee and a few morons who are like, this is their grift. Their grift is religious in nature. They're the only people that can't seem to accept this.
Yeah, and it's terrifying for establishment politicians because the more you're allowed to ask the people what they want, the more they'll tell you. And the more it will expose how out of touch with the average voter politicians really are.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.